What is up, YouTube? This is Chris, I'm Professional Dad, and I'm back with another knife video. Doing what I love to do, which is talking to you about knives. Is there anything better to be doing right now? Seriously? Than talking about knives? I mean, there's a couple things that I can think of, but I can't talk about those on this video because kids might be watching, and we're not having that now. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm happy to be talking about knives right now, and what I've done is earlier I did a couple of videos. I done a video about premium knives that I got for the month of February. They weren't the best premium knives on the market. They were the best premium knives that I got for the month of February. I followed that up with a video about my 5 best fixed blades for the month of February. I tried to tone that one down a little bit, but it was a lot harder to tone this video down because I got a lot of budget knives in the month of February as well. And I know that people like budget knives. So I gave you guys a lot of premium knives for all of those out there who like the premium end. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the budget end. Nowhere near as many as there was in the premium, because February I really treated myself to the premium options. I really got on a kick there for a while of showing a lot of budget end knives. And I love that and I like it, but I really had slacked off on getting the nicer knives that I was wanting for my own personal collection. So February, I really tried to get the ones that I could while I could. So I did. But I did also get a lot of budget knives. And these are the 10 best budget knives that I got for the month of February. Caveat, they're not the 10 best budget knives available in the month of February 2025. People always miss that part. So then they'll tell me, hey, what about this knife? What about this? Yeah, that knife probably does belong on the list if I had it, but I don't have it, so I can't show it. These are the best 10 knives that I got budget end for February 2025. But before I do, welcome to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that life is finding you doing fantastic. And if it's not, then remember, keep your head up. Things will always turn around. Where 2 or more agree, so shall it be. And I agree that your life can be anything you want it to be. Just turn it around. I know it's easier said than done, but just keep your head up. We've all been there, and things can get rough sometimes. One of you in particular, you know who I'm talking to, and this message is for you. Trust me, I've been thinking about you a lot, man. I want you to know that. I've been thinking about you all day, brother. I have. My thoughts are with you. All right, that's neither here nor there. Oh, and by the way, Blake, congratulations on your poor man Sabenza. Is that knife not the coolest thing in the world? Blake got him a Rake P801. Just got it in, and he's blown away by how awesome that knife is. I'm trying to tell you guys, there's a reason I call it the poor man Sabenza. You got to check it out if you don't have one. If you don't have one in your collection, remedy that problem. I promise you'll thank me for it later. Okay, guys. Welcome to my channel. One last thing. Tomorrow's the big day, March the 3rd. Remember, I'm March the 2nd right now. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm doing this video. I'm less than 24 hours away from the big video giveaway. We're going live at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. It will not be all night long. It'll probably only be an hour because remember, I've got 4 little boys that I have to take care of. Get to bed for school Tuesday, stuff like that. So I can't do the really long the really long streams. I apologize. I wish I could. So it's only going to be like an hour, but at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going live and we'll do our giveaways. And I'm excited about that. If you're not already a part of it, watch my video, Huge Knife Budget Giveaway, and make sure you do what it says so that you can be a part of it. But before you go do that, like this video and subscribe to my channel. And after you do that, come back and finish this video. All right, I've rambled on long enough, guys. Stop asking me to talk so much. Daggone it, man. I want to talk about knives and y'all are sitting here talking my head off. Man, I can't get a word in edgewise with you guys. Just playing. I don't know what's into me today. Yesterday I had high blood pressure. My head was pounding. And today, I don't know. I might have done something illicit last night or something and just don't know about it. I'm joking. That's a total joke. All right, guys. So the very first knife is a fantastic knife. This thing is awesome. I love this thing. It's a Petrified Fish Scalor, or however you say the name, Scalor, whatever. This thing is awesome. It's in sandalwood handles. It's 154 cm blade steel. It's a traditional knife, so it's a lockback. I don't have a lot of traditional knives. I mean, I have some. I probably have 10 or 15. probably like 25 maybe. If I really got them all out and count them, probably closer to 20, 25. But they're just not my biggest cup of tea, like case and stuff like that. I'm wanting to get more into those knives. I just don't know enough about case to get into them and to really know what I'm buying. There's just so many different models and brands, and it's hard enough keeping up with all this stuff. I have a brother who's a fanatic for case. He collects case. He knows everything about them. And I tried to pick his brain once or twice, but there's just a lot to learn. But I do have some traditional knives that are fantastic, and this is one of them. It has a traditional lock back, which is very safe and secure. It has a deep carry pocket clip. The screws are inset into the handle, and I really appreciate that. I know I make a big deal about that all the time, but maybe it's because I'm a bigger guy and stuff. You know, the screws, when they're not set into the handle, they'll snag on my the hem of my pocket and stuff a lot. I'll get them snagged, and it's a pain sometimes. They'll catch on threads and stuff like that. So whenever the screws are set into the handle and they're flush, I appreciate that a lot. Now, it's not a reversible pocket clip, so it's right hand only and tip up, but it is deep carry, and I do appreciate that. Again, very good, sturdy, secure lock back, dual thumb studs, excellent action for a traditional knife. Again, 154 cm blade steel, and look at that blade shape. This thing is fantastic for EDC. I mean, if you're a traditional lover for knives, you're going to like this thing. Between the fit and finish, the 154 cm blade steel, the quality of this knife all the way around, you're going to like this thing. Can you imagine box cutting, you know, package opening, just general EDC use with this? Look at that blade shape. This thing is ideal. It's got a very sharp point with a really good, look how thick that spine is right there. So there's some backing behind that edge. So it's going to be a secure, strong edge. Could you snap it or break it? Of course you can. You can do that with the most durable and rugged knife if you intend to, or you do the wrong things with it. But this is going to hold up to a lot of general EDC use. All in all, it's a fantastic knife. It's gorgeous to look at. This sandalwood is so beautiful. They run about $71 to $72 right now on Amazon, so they're great price knives. They're budget, and what I consider budget is anything under $100. If I can get the knife under $100, I know that's not everybody's budget. I said it in the fixed blade video. I know that's not everybody's budget. Some people, their budget is they consider $30, $40. That's a budget knife, and I understand that. Budget is a relative term. I consider it $100 and below. You consider it that, and you're right. That's exactly what budget is, because it's your budget, and you shouldn't have to live by my budget, and I shouldn't have to live by anybody else's. So to me, $100 and under. So that's what I'm considering this right here, is a budget knife at $71 to $72 on Amazon. Fantastic knife. I promise you, if you get this thing, you will not be disappointed. If you're a traditional knife lover, you need to check this thing out, because I'm not a big traditional guy, and I love this knife. I've already EDC'd this knife a couple times. Fantastic. Feels so good in the pocket, and I love how sturdy. I mean, this thing feels sturdy and rugged in the hand. Like, it's got a good, firm grip, solid integrity, those steel liners. I mean, this thing, excellent knife. The next knife is another one that is a very, very good knife and great in the hand. I love this thing. This is the Vona by Mecron. What a daggone knife. Most of you all who've been watching my videos knows that I was completely unaware of Mecron knives until this month. I'd heard about them, I'd seen them on Amazon, and I kept passing them up. People kept telling me about them, and I kept passing them up. Not because I didn't trust people, but because there were so many other knives that I did know about that I wanted to get. I wanted to focus on them, and then tried things like this out at a different time when I could, or had the time, or had the extra money. And they just weren't a priority. Finally, I went ahead and I pulled the trigger on one, which you'll see in a minute. Once I got that, and I liked it so much, I had to go back and get some more. And this is when I went back and got some more. I got the Vona and one other one. This thing is fantastic. I mean, fantastic. Now, I understand that this knife is going to be, look how big this is. This is going to be far too big for a lot of people. It's going to be too big in the hand. I've got a 2XL glove size, and look how big this is. I understand. Look how big that blade is. I completely get it. This is too big for a lot of people. It's not too big for everybody. And even if it's too big for you to EDC, if you're a knife enthusiast or a knife collector or just somebody who appreciates a good knife, then it's still worth having. It's worth having in your, in your collection. It's worth having in your, your toolbox or whatever. Camping, you don't have to get this coated in this color. You can get a satin blade with the black G10. You can get different things. You can get a blacked out blade. Look at the fuller on both sides. The fuller is beautiful. The work on this Mecron, I compare them with the Petrified fish. A little bit more affordable though. Some Petrified fishes are as affordable as these, but most Petrified fishes, these are going to come in just a little bit under those prices, but you're still getting a lot of the similar fit and finish options and just feel and quality. It's an excellent knife. Very thick steel liners. It's got a nice G10 spacer right here. It is a liner lock. By the way, I apologize. Earlier in the premium video, I don't know which knife I said, but I called it a liner lock, and it was a frame lock. But you guys know me. I'll go on and be talking, and I'll be like, you see these thumb studs right here? Because I'll get to talking, and I'll be thinking about the last knife that I showed, or my mind's already moved on to the next one that does have thumb studs. And I'm thinking about that knife while I'm talking to this knife, and this knife don't even have thumb studs. I do it all the time. Those of you who watch my videos, you know I get lost in the sauce. It is what it is. Not the sauce, but this sauce, because that's pretty much all my brain is anymore, is a bunch of sauce. But this thing is fantastic. G10 handles, a titanium pocket clip. Now I understand that the reason that they're doing this because it's just that little extra touch. It's just a titanium pocket clip. That's the only part of the knife that's titanium. The blade is 14C 28N, so it's a good blade steel for the price that this comes in at $52. But it's massive. It's a huge chunk of 14C 28N blade steel. It's 14C 28N blade steel. Did I just say 52? I told you. I told you. Titanium pocket clip, 14C 28N blade steel. A massive chunk of it. And that's a good blade steel for this type of knife. The titanium pocket clip, I think that's just a little extra that they put on there just to be appealing and to say, hey, you've got titanium on your knife. Even though it's kind of just a little extra that really adds no... And people are going to disagree with me because, that just means the pocket clip is absolutely sturdy. It's not going to bend. It's not going to break or snap off or whatever. So yes, there is qualities to it being titanium. I'm just saying in the overall grand scheme of the knife, it is just a marketing ploy. I was in sales for 25 years. I understand marketing. That's what they're doing there. So that they can have that word titanium in the description of this knife. That's what that pocket clip is for, because that's very small. But it's still that little extra mile that they go to give you a quality fit and finish on this knife. Excellent liner lock, excellent G10, and excellent feel in the hand. A razor sharp blade, a 14C 28N blade steel that's massive. This thing is huge. If you like big hands, if you've got big hands and you like a big knife for your big hands, here you go. This is it right here. Boom. This thing is fantastic. You're going to like it, I promise. And at $52, $52 for that fit and finish, 14C, G10, full steel liners, frame lock, but you're getting a titanium pocket clip. The action on this thing, everything that you get on this for $52. Where's Oliver Twist? Because I think I hear somebody saying, can I have some more? Now, this next knife might be something that some people disagree with, and I understand that. But here's the deal. I appreciate all knives. I said this in my video earlier. I appreciate my knives that are $5 from a gas station, and I appreciate my knives that are $700 from Chris Reeves. I appreciate all of them, every one of my knives, and I'm grateful and thankful for every one of my knives. I also am appreciative of every single viewer, and I do have a lot of viewers that do like those $20 to $30 knives, $40, stuff like that. I do understand that, and some of them have asked for some knives in that price range, and I've gotten some, and this next knife is one that came in that price range. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people might not like this knife, but I think for the money, it's fantastic. And it's a Sativian. I told you, I got to talk gibberish I like bragging about my second language. Most people can't speak it yet, but I think eventually the UN's going to adopt it as a world language. D2 blade, it's massive. It's got excellent jipping on top, dual thumb studs. Another one with full steel liners. It is a frame lock as well. It's got a pocket clip that's not quite deep carry, but it's almost. It's not reversible. It's right hand only, tip up. But if you look at the work on these steel liners, it gives it that little artsy feel. It's on the top and on the bottom. So you get jimping right here, and you get this artistic contouring to the steel liners, which does give it a jimped feeling. But it's also for looks. It's for an aesthetic appeal. But look how much blade you get right there of D2. Now, I've said this in my past videos. If somebody tells me, oh, that's trash D2, or oh, that's a horrible heat treat on that D2, I'm going to tell you the same thing I say all the time. I don't care. This knife is $26. And look at what you get for $26. Look at this. It looks awesome. It's a beautiful knife. This is a great knife for $26. It's D2. D2 is tough, durable, no real corrosion resistance. I mean, there's a little, but none really. It's a tool steel. Really good edge retention for a budget steel. Really good. This thing is a razor blade sharp. I stropped it one time, and it is hair popping sharp. Look at it. $26. I don't care how bad the heat treat is. The knife is worth $26, and for $26, I guarantee you I'll be able to cut a lot of stuff with this and get $26 worth of cutting out of it. Because I'm not going to abuse my knives, so I will never find myself in a situation where this fails. If I fail, or this knife fails, I should say, if this knife fails me, then it fails cutting a box or a package open or a zip tie from a toy or something like that, or thread off of clothes or general purpose stuff for EDC. And if it fails at that, I'm writing a letter to somebody, because that is pretty daggone tragic. But I doubt that's going to happen. $26 for this Sativian. Now this model is the 128, the ST128. Again, it's a budget knife, and I know a lot of people don't like these knives, these models. These effing grow, Ned Foss, a lot of people don't like these knives. I understand. I get it. But there's a lot of people in the knife community, and a lot of people do like these knives. And I think they're great for what they are. I don't expect more out of them. I don't expect it to have a good heat treat. I don't expect it to be a fantastic blade steel. I don't expect it to have fantastic fit and finish. I expect it to be a $26 knife. And for that, this thing is fantastic. Massive, big in the hands. Great knife. Great knife. And if you want a cheap beater knife that you can just beat up and abuse and not worry about, so what if it does? Just a moment. Let me fix something real quick, guys. Didn't want thought my battery was plugged in. It wasn't. But if you want a beater knife that you can abuse, right there you go. $26. If you lose it, if you break it. Now, I understand that a lot of people can't just throw away $26. But I'm just saying, to everyone who can, right here's the alternative. Beat the heck out of it, lose it, throw it away, give it as a gift. You're giving a good knife with a D2 blade away, and it's not breaking the bank. This next knife is a knife that was sent to me by a company. I had no expectations because all I saw was online was kitchen knives until I got this, and then I really started looking into them, and I was blown away by their options. They've got some really, really quality pieces at some really good prices. I've heard some bad things about them as well, but I think that they're still in that working out their kinks. I think they're going from being really good and successful in the kitchen knives to getting into the folder knives, the collectible knives, the fixed blade knives. And during that process and period, they've had to work out some kinks. But they're also really affordably priced. And from what I see in this knife, and I'm going to get more so I have a better idea, but this one is fantastic. And it's a Fento Odyssey. This thing, I mean, it is beautiful. This thing, blacked out coated blade, awesome blade, 14C 28 in blade steel, excellent textured G10 handles, full steel liners, a G10 spacer. It is a liner lock. It has a deep carry pocket clip. It's not quite deep carry, but it's almost deep carry. The screws are inset. Dual thumb studs and a flipper. Excellent action. Fidgety as all get out. Feels good in the hand, even for a larger hand. I got real estate all the way at the end. I can grip it with both hands. There's good jimping on top where the thumb studs are. All the way around, a great knife. A good point on this drop point blade. A good belly with a good edge, a good amount of cutting edge. And 14C, again, is nothing to cry about. That's a pretty good budget steel. Decent edge retention, it's pretty tough. Decent corrosion resistance, nothing fancy, nothing premium. But for the price, it's a good steel. They are trying to give you, I talked to the people. I talked to them. They explained to me what they were wanting to do. They want to find that happy median where they can give the most bang for the buck, the best amount of quality that they can give you for the best affordable prices. How can we keep these prices affordable so that everybody can experience and enjoy a Fento knife, but still make sure that we give them as much quality as we can? We've had some flounders, we've had some flaws, we've had some hiccups. We try to fix them, we try to improve, and we try to grow. And this knife is fantastic. I like it. I think it's great. Feels good in the hand. And for $71, I mean, this is a nice knife. I don't know about their mess ups in the past. All I can judge it by is this knife. And I'm telling you right now, I'll pay $71 for this knife. I've got knives over there that I've paid more for that I don't like as much as this. This is a good looking knife. A good looking knife. Look at that. That is a good looking knife right there. And the other knives that they've got online, they've got some gorgeous. They've got one that looks kind of similar to a Koenig or whatever it's called. However you pronounce that, Koenig or whatever. They've got one that has a similar look and style to it, kind of to the Eris. It's not a copy or anything like that. That's not what they're going for. I'm just saying it has a similar style to it. And it looks beautiful. It's gorgeous. So they've got some nice knives for some really good prices. And that's the Fento that I like. The next knife, we're coming right back, full circle, right back to Mecron. This thing. Oh my gosh. Look at this knife. G10 handles. Look at that massive chunk of 14C blade steel. Look at that grind work right there. This is a hollow grind that is slicey. Excellent piercing tip. This would be a great steak knife, a great knife to take with you when you're going out to dinner, a great knife to wear if you've got a suit on, you're going to church on Sunday and you want to have a nice knife on you so that you just have a knife on you, plus you're going out to eat afterwards. Here you go. You're in a business setting and you want a good knife that's dependable, but you also want something that's elegant and classy. You don't want something that looks all tactical and stuff in your suit, or when you pull it out in an office setting and start scaring people with the Tonto tipped samurai sword looking knife. You pull this out, it's a majorly huge, large letter opener. It's what it looks like, but it's actually a very efficient cutting machine. This thing is awesome. Again, G10 handles, full steel liners, titanium pocket clip, a liner lock, excellent action. It is a front flipper, so you do have a little bit of jimping right there. There's not a lot of real estate for that front flip, but even I can do it, and that's saying something because I'm not great at front flippers. This thing is fantastic, and you know the best part about this? Again, I've already told you the fit and finish on these knives is right there with, I mean, I won't say that it's as good as Petrified Fish, but it reminds me a lot of Petrified Fish with this knife company's fit and finish Mecron. This is the Akri and AKRI, and it is fantastic. I mean, for a front flipping, executive style, gentleman style knife, this thing is an out of the park home run. $46. I mean, $46, guys. $46. Look how much cutting edge and how much blade you have right there for $46. I'm just saying. Now, this next knife is a knife, but it also doubles as a Jiffy Lube on the side. I say that because it comes with its own lifetime supply of oil. They wanted to make sure you got your money's worth. And it is a Two Sons knife. And it's this one right here. What model is this? I'm not even sure what model this thing is. TS, hold on a second. Let me see what model this thing is called. This is called the Two Sons TS434. This thing is massive. I don't know if there's anything practical about this knife at all. But every bit of it, other than the oil, I love this knife. I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. I love the massive size of that blade. I love those fullers down the middle. Gosh, I love this thing. It's got titanium red frame. It's got titanium frame with red G10 line scales over top of it. Titanium milled pocket clip. It is a liner lock, dual thumb studs, and these thumb studs ain't the normal thumb studs. Look at how massive those things are. They basically put huge rodeo barrels on each side so that you get that right there. Excellent action. That is a massive chunk of D2 blade steel. Look at that knife. This looks like the cross between the Spear of Destiny and something out of a fantasy video game. I don't know, but whatever it looks like, I'm in love. Whew, this thing is fantastic. I love this knife. Look at it. This thing is so daggone cool. Again, I'm not saying that this is very practical. Look how big this thing is. It's massive. It's huge. Look how thick it is. Compared to an average knife, which is like this, look how thick that knife is. It's huge, but it's every bit awesome. Great action, D2 line or D2 blade steel, a liner lock. Again, titanium frame and titanium liner lock, a titanium milled pocket clip, huge, massive thumb studs, excellent jimping on the top. That's aggressive jimping. Not as aggressive as I like, but it's pretty aggressive. I mean, that's a spear type of blade. It's considered a drop point, but it has that spear look to it. Fantastic. And you can get this on Amazon for under $100. Titanium, red G10 handle, scales, a massive, gigantic slab of D2 blade steel, and really nice fit and finish for this knife. The fit and finish, outstanding. I need to get more Two Suns because I only have two, and I really don't want to cast a decision on the quality of the brand. I can only speak on the two that I've got. Now, once I've got a few more, I'll really talk about, okay, yeah, absolutely, this brand is a home run. Just like Fento. I can't say that they've had hiccups before. So I can't say overall the brand is absolutely fantastic. Don't worry, they're worth it, buy their knife. I can't say that because I only got one knife. But this knife is fantastic, and all their other ones look beautiful, and I want some. I want to check them out more. Then I'll be able to truly speak on the brand as a whole because I'll have more experience with them. Same thing with Two Suns. All I can speak about is the models that I have. And the two that I have, other than the oil on this one, that they really was liberal with, these knives have been fantastic. I love this knife. Love it. It's awesome. Under $100. Let's move on. Mecron. This knife right here, Moyarl, or however you say it, this knife, Metal Complex said that this was one of the 3 best budget EDC knives available, with the Raccoon top liner lock and the Civivi Vision FG, and this was the 3rd. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. That was what made me finally pull the trigger, not because I believed him and trusted him, so I took his word for it, but because I was like, yeah, no, I don't know about that. Are you sure? And I wanted to check it out and see how correct he was. And I don't know if I'll really agree that it's one of the best 3 EDC budget knives on the market, but it's definitely one of the best. I mean, the guy knows his stuff. There's a reason he's got 700,000 subscribers, and he's bigger than I'll ever be, ever. Knows more about knives than I'll ever know, ever. And he's far more trustworthy and reliable when it comes to knives than I'll ever be, ever. And this right here is case in point. This thing is fantastic. Another blade with 14C28 in blade steel. G10 handles, beautiful G Mascus handles, full steel liners with the liner lock, titanium pocket clip. Now this one is reversible. You can go left hand or right hand. It's only tip up though. Excellent action on this thing. Feels great in the hand. Doesn't have a flipper or thumb studs, but it does have a thumb hole, and the action is impeccable. I mean, this thing looks great. Look at this. This is the flat grind on that. Look at this knife. Forgive my fingerprints. Look at that grind. Look at that blade right there. This is a fantastic EDC blade right here. I might not know everything about knives and what the best ones are in every model, but I have done it enough and collected enough knives to know what blade shapes are really going to be the premium, primo, top-notch, best fit and suited for EDC. And this blade shape is one of those blades. Absolutely home run. He was correct. I was wrong. And I was glad to be, because I love this knife. It's the Mecron Moyarl, or however you say it. I don't know. I can't speak English. I can only speak gibberish. But what a fantastic knife. Now this one I think is around $70, $75, maybe 76. and worth every single penny. But you can get this knife in cheaper versions without the G-Mascus and stuff like that. All right. Before I tell you my top 3 knives, because we're right there, the top 3, I'm going to show you my alternative. This is a knife that I got. This little thing is cool as the other side of the pillow, as they used to say. When I grew up, that was a big saying, as cool as the other side of the pillow. I love this thing. I like knives, large, small, odds, ends, whatever. If it's got a blade on it, I love it. And this thing is fantastic. And it's the Warbo Mini Tonto Carabiner knife. This thing is small but powerful. People carry box cutters, people carry utility knives all the time, and they carry carabiners for their keys, for EDC and stuff like that. So Warbo decided that they was going to mix the two. 2 birds, 1 stone, that old saying, we mentioned it earlier. And that's what they've done here. They've given you basically a box cutting utility knife with 14C28N blade steel, titanium nitride or whatever it is coated. Can't remember exactly what it's called. Titanium coated. Blade steel, razor sharp, because that's basically what it is, with an aluminum anodized carabiner. Full steel liners, textured G10, very sturdy, very durable, a fantastic little, little utility knife. Fantastic. This thing is awesome. Look at that. I mean, daggone, I got the hiccups. This thing is razor blade sharp. Razor blade sharp. These things are great for women, for people who are in situations where you can't really carry a full-size knife on you or anything like that. Or if you're in a situation where you work in a job where you have to cut a lot of boxes, so you have to carry utility knives or whatever, but you want to carry something that's cool, efficient, EDC edgy, cool gear, because that's what we like. We're in this hobby for a reason. Right there you go. Right there you go. A fantastic little blade that's designed for that. These things come right around 50 bucks and they are awesome. I don't know how many have been bought, but I'll link this in the description and my code will save you a pretty good chunk of money off the price. So link will be in the description. I really recommend that people check this thing out because it is awesome. It's one of those odd little knives that's just, there's something about it. And if you look, people are buying those utility knives left and right. The difference is those have razor blades that you constantly have to replace. This is the same exact thing with the 14C28N blade, titanium coated. It's a utility knife that you don't have to replace the razor blades. And a carabiner so you can put your keys on it or whatever. 2 birds, 1 stone. Fantastic. This is an awesome little knife. I love this thing. It is truly, I love this thing. It's just one of those little things that's odds and ends. It's of EDC gear. I love EDC gear, and that's an awesome piece of EDC gear. The Warbo Mini Carabiner Tonto knife. All right, top 3. You might not agree with this order, but this is my order. I'm gonna stick by it. All right, I'm a little iffy about the number 2 and number 3 if they should be reversed, but we're gonna go with this order. Number 3, on our way to number 1, is the Vosteed Shilling cutter. What a knife! I've heard about it nonstop. You can get these on Amazon right now for under $100. Dual thumb studs, a liner lock, not reversible, but it's almost deep carry. It's not quite deep carry. Excellent jimping on top. G10 handles. It's got the leaf-shaped blade. I keep forgetting what the daggone lock is called. Hold on. The Vosteed Shilling. Let me see. I keep forgetting what the lock is called, and I don't want to. The Vancor lock. The Vancor lock. It's basically kind of like a button lock on the pivot, kind of like a button lock, but it's a Vancore lock. It's fantastic right there. You push that in and boom. Fidgety is all get out. It's a front flipper, but it also has thumb studs, or you can use the Vancore lock. So it's fidgety. Gives you all that, and you still have a flipper button or a flipper stud back there. 1, 2, 3. You got 4 different ways of opening this. 1, 2, 3, or the button. 4 ways of opening this. Fidgety is all get out. Excellent action. Look at that leaf blade right there. This is one of those blades that's absolutely designed and meant for EDC. Absolutely. The Shilling cutter, I just got it. I heard about it nonstop. I heard about the Shilling cutter over and over and over. And man, I see why. Because this knife is amazing. It's amazing. It is such a great knife. Such a great knife. Now for me, it's a 3-finger blade, unless I really choke up, and then I can make it a 4-finger blade, because it does have a spot right here for your finger. Or you can just put it down here, either one. But it does have a ledge right there for your finger, so you can choke up, and then I got a 4-finger grip. But back here, it's a 3-finger grip, but with that jimping, it feels good in the hand, and boom, there you go. You've got a piercing tip, you've got a lot of belly right there, a good sharp edge, and you got a flat grind that is slicey as all get out. This is an EDC dream right here. Under $100 on Amazon right now, and it is worth every single dime. The Vosteed Shilling cutter, it's a fantastic knife. Number 2, thank you, Zach. This is one of your recommendations. You probably know what it is. I love this knife. The Kershaw Broadside. The action of the Bel Air or Iridium, but a full-size, big, heavy-duty beater knife. Look at this. Look at this. Brown G10 handles, a truly deep carry pocket clip. I mean, it's truly deep carry, completely deep carry. Screws are inset into the handle. It is reversible left hand or right hand, tip up only. It's got the crossbar lock, extremely fidgety, dual thumb studs. This thing has action that is a dream. It's a little bigger than some people like. If you like the Iridium because of the action, you're going to love this. If you like the Iridium because of its size, you might not like this as much because of how much bigger it is. But if you like the Iridium for its action, but you wish it was a little bit bigger, you are in luck, because this knife was made for you. This thing is fantastic. I mean, fantastic. A D2 blade steel. I mean, this thing is just absolutely awesome. A great swedge on top, a good piercing point with a lot of spine behind it. Slicey blade, a lot of edge. Excellent geometry on this blade. This is an all-around excellent EDC beater knife. Around $75 and worth every single penny. Yeah, $74.95 and worth every single penny. This is one of the most versatile all-around budget EDC knives that I know of. Between the fidget factor, the excellent size of the blade, how much belly you've got, the geometry with that flat grind, the full-size, big, thick, sturdy handle, excellent jimping right there for your thumb. I mean, dual thumb studs all the way around. True deep carry reversible pocket clip all around. This thing is an all-around EDC. I'm not going to say dream, because there's a lot of knives that are dreams. This knife is a fantasy. All right, that might be going a little far. All right, I might be getting a little carried away with my analogies. I'm going to dial it back. But having said that, I might think about this tonight while I'm sleeping. I'm just saying. It's that daggone nice. The Kershaw Broadside. is a knife. Get this thing for $75. The action, the blade, the edge retention, deep carry pocket clip, all in all, home run. No, it's not a home run. It's not a home run. This is a home run. This is a grand slam at the World Series Game 6. I won't say Game 7 because the next knife is Game 7. But this is Game 6. And they just went up 3-2. They got to win one more game and it's over. This is going to win the game for them. This is going to win the whole World Series, this knife right here. This is going to win game number 4, and they're the champions of the world. I'm born in Hamilton, Ohio, right outside of Cincinnati, and my fans are die-hard Cincinnati fans. And my mom was a die-hard Cincinnati Reds fan. Growing up, that's all we did. That's why I love ball cards so much, because I was such a big sports fan, and a lot of it was Kentucky Wildcats, but I never was a Cincinnati Reds fan. I mean, it was a little bit because of my mom, but I grew up, because I love history so much, I grew up loving the Boston area. I love it because of the history of America. I wanted to be in the military. I was a big Patriot type of guy. So what did I love? The Boston Celtics, the Boston Red Sox, and New England Patriots. Everybody always used to say, oh, you're a bandwagon rider, because I was a Patriots fan when they had Drew Bledsoe back before they ever won a daggone, when they was the worst team in the NFL, all because they had that Minuteman, that Revolutionary War fighter, down with the rifle, the musket, down in the three-point stance on their helmets. So I loved them. I don't know why I went into that. I have no idea. Because I was given the World Series analogy. That's right. This is the Boston Red Sox winning their home run, or winning their World Series right here. This is Game 7 quality right here. This thing is so fantastic. It's the CJRB Maximal from David C. Anderson, the host of Knife Center videos, and an awesome, awesome dude, and an excellent knife designer. He's got a couple. He's got the MKM Pocket Tango for fixed blades. He's got his own knife line that he's been making for a while, and he's got a couple collaborations, the Pocket Tango, and now this, the Maximal. And this knife is probably, what he was going for was a one-size-fits-all, all-purpose, general, across-the-board knife that he can recommend to anybody and everybody of all budgets, all knife styles and preferences, everybody. Whether you like a big knife or a small knife, whether you like a premium knife or a budget knife, whatever you like. Every knife that he ever tried to find to where he could just across the board, when somebody said, what's a good knife? And he would try to come up with that perfect knife that he could recommend to anybody. He didn't have to ask them what their preferences was. He could just say, I know enough to say that this knife is going to suit most people. And there would always be one or two things about that knife that would throw it off. So he decided, when he teamed up with CJRB, to design his own knife that fixed those one or two issues. And he came up with the Maximal. And I've said it before, I'm so happy for him and all of his success, and I hope that he has a bunch more and comes up with more knives, and I hope he sells millions of these things and changes his family's life forever. I wish nothing but the best for him, because he's a good dude and he makes some really good knives. You know? And I wish the best for everybody, including him. This thing is fantastic. It's a crossbar lock, textured G10 handles, dual thumb studs. It's a deep carry pocket clip that is reversible, so you can go left hand or right hand. It's tip up only. Excellent action. Again, dual thumb studs. Look at that drop point blade that almost has a harpoon style to it, but it's not. It has a great flat grind with a lot of belly right there, a great cutting edge, a good sharp piercing point. This reminds me a lot of the Yonder from Zach Whitmore and Civivi. A lot of the Yonder. because I absolutely love the Yonder. I think the Yonder is an all-around fantastic knife. It's hard not to love the Yonder. I think that the Yonder is just under this one. I think that this pulls it out. I think that if you put the two together, this is going to take the cake. I love them both. I think they're both fantastic, but I do think that this edges it out. I think it takes the cake. I think the Maximal is... I think that this is going to be one of the top-selling knives of 2025. No question. It'll be one of the top five selling knives of 2025. No question. If I'm wrong, I will give away one heck of a knife at the end of the year. And I hope somebody remembers me and calls me out on this later on in the year. Write it down. Remember this. Because I do believe that much in this knife. It's that daggone great. These things you can get right around 50 bucks on Knife Center right now. You can get their Knife Center exclusive for around 60 to 65. But this has got RPM 9 blade steel, which is basically like a 9CR and stuff. So it's got decent toughness, a little bit of edge retention. It's nothing extremely fancy, but the knife is $50. You get what you pay for. And for $50, that's a pretty good steal. All around, this is an excellent package right here. I love this thing. It's, in my opinion, it's the best budget knife that I got in the month of February, and I'm absolutely stoked for it. I love it. I'm thankful for it. I'm grateful for it. And this is the best knife on the list. So that's it, guys. I appreciate it. I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Go watch Huge Knife Budget Giveaway. Leave a comment on that video. Make sure that you're there tomorrow, Monday, March the 3rd at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going live. We're going to have some fun. I can't wait. We're going to give away some budgets. We're going to give away some knives, and it's going to be a blast. I look forward to it. Thank you to everybody on this list, all my premium subscribers. I appreciate it very much, guys. I'm not going to read those right now because my eyes are hurting really bad, and I don't want to turn around and read. But thank you, guys. You all know who you are. Again, Blake, congratulations on your Poor Man's Benza, the 801. And the other one, you know who you are. My thoughts and prayers are with you, brother. If you ever want to talk, my email is right there. Whatever. If you need my number, I'll give it to you. If you ever want to talk, I've got ears, man. I can listen. And I've probably been there. But I don't have to say a word. I can just let you vent. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you to all you guys. I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad, and I wish all of you sharp knives and happy lives. Take care.